Sort of a family get-together because Lloyd Williams, Pat Hyland and Johnny Marr are all good buddies.
And Lloyd Williams, the part owner of What a Nuisance, publicly stated he'd be giving 10% of the winnings, which is $65,000 to Save the Children's Fund.
Yeah.
And so they will benefit today. But what a magnificent training effort by John Marr. This horse looked a cripple 18 months ago.
Well, he went into the race today. He said, well, he hasn't got anything wrong with him today. He says, this is my chance, and there it is his chance. And the number, though, 13, people think it's a bit of a jinx.
There's Lloyd Williams with the top hat.
Yep.
The winners by St Puckle from Fashion Bell, and here's Hyland about to ride his way into the record books. He's been going around for a long time, Pat, and I think he must have thought, Des, that he'd lost his chance to win a Melbourne Cup last year.
Last year he won Affinity, the Caulfield Cup, and you know, here it is today, 12 months later, and he's come along and he's won on another of his mates, because Johnny Marr, I think, was originally, might have been even with Jim Maloney. But they're all in the family down there, and there it is, just a nice. I don't think he waved to the crowd, did he? Won't incur a $200 Dennis Gowing there, the other part owner, so they're pretty happy, I'd reckon.
The winner's race by Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Williams, and D. Gowing is trained at Epsom by John Marr and ridden by Patrick Aloysius Hyland. A great run second, Coro Corrie-May, what a mighty New Zealand mare she is, and Tripsicum third with Feederwar fourth and Butternut fifth. Some disappointments. Tristark battled on well. Our Sophia never got into it today. Black Knight was beaten on the turn. Late Show was always out of it.
Unbelievable, though, that the horses could be so far back in the race. There were
Kiwi.
40 lengths from the... And, you know, some of the fancied ones were 30 lengths. I don't know what goes on with some of these guys who are riding. Truly, they set them an impossible task. The bloke on Kiwi, if he thought he was going to win today, fair dinkum, he'd have... I
think you're trying to say rocks in his head.
Something like that. He was 40 lengths from it. Poor old Kiwi. I mean, he had no hope. He had to run the last half mile in about 30.
Well, old Kiwi, an 8-year-old, but What a Nuisance is a 7-year-old. He's bred in New Zealand. He's done most of his racing in the recent times here in Australia. Won the Chairman's Handicap at Randwick 18 months ago. Won the Duke of Norfolk at this track over the same distance. Mr. Lawler talks to Pat Hyland. He's had some great days in racing, Des, but none better than this.
No, this is today. I think they bought What a Nuisance to win the National Hurdle.
They did. They were going to jump him.
Yeah. So he just made $1 million.
And what about Robbie Heffernan? 3 placings now in Melbourne Cups.
Yeah.
Noble comment
Just
twice.
missed again.
Ron Quinton gave Feederwar every possible hope. 4th prize, not too bad for the connections of Feederwar, $50,000. A horse who came to Melbourne with not a lot of form from South Australia. But there's the winner, What a Nuisance. Butternut's rider, Michael Riley. She won the Moonee Valley Cup and now 5th in the Foster's Melbourne Cup. I think Mr. Lawler's happy. It's 13.823. We're about to get correct weight or otherwise. The time 3:23. What a Nuisance parade. It's right to pay. It's correct weight. It's official. What a Nuisance has won the 1985 Foster's Melbourne Cup.
A spectacle here live that you can probably see more of at home through the television lens. They're moving out into the middle of the mounting yard, and His Royal Highness will be introduced by the chairman of the VRC, Mr. Hilton Nicholas.
The horse, of course, had a great run, but it's owned by Mr. and Mrs. Williams and Dennis Gowing, who, of course, will be presented with the $1 million Foster's Melbourne Cup, but also will go up and have a quiet, refreshing drink, I think, upstairs with the royal couple a little bit later on.
I'm just watching Lloyd Williams about to be escorted out into the middle of the mounting yard. He's absolutely stunned at the moment.
Oh, I think Dennis Gowing is too, yes. I think they're all... Well, I mean, it would be a wonderful thrill, of course, to win a Melbourne Cup. And being Foster's Melbourne Cup this year, it's bigger and better. Chatting with the jockey there, who must be very excited too.
Yes, Pat Hyland. Pat won the Caulfield Cup last year, and now the Foster's Melbourne Cup this year. A great feat by one of our top jockeys and president, incidentally, of the Jockeys Association here in Australia. Immediately following the presentation, our commentators will be talking with all the connections. That's Pat Hyland, the owners and the trainer. And now Mr. Hilton Nicholas is moving over to the presentation area. We can see right beside him a view of the Foster's Melbourne Cup. And of course we'll hear also from Mr. John Elliott, the chairman of Carlton and United Breweries.
And of course 18 karat gold this year, Phil, in the cup.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hilton Nicholas, chairman of the VRC.
Your Royal Highnesses, Mr. Premier, Mrs. Kane, ladies and gentlemen, this is a unique occasion, for it is the first time that Flemington has been honoured by the presence of members of the royal family. I therefore have a very special reason to extend the warmest of welcomes to their Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Wales. We are fortunate that their state visit to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Victoria coincided with the first Foster's $1 billion Melbourne Cup. And we are most honoured that they have graciously accepted the committee's invitation to attend. Before I ask His Royal Highness to present the trophies to the winning owners, the jockey, the trainer and the strapper, I would like to introduce to you the chairman of Carlton United, the brewers of Foster's Lager. The VRC is tremendously indebted to Foster's, not only for the most generous sponsorship of our famous race, but for the enthusiasm that they have shown in their involvement. There is no doubt that the Melbourne Cup and Foster's Lager will be much more widely known throughout the world as a result of their tremendous involvement. I present to you the chairman of Carlton and United, Mr. John Elliott.
Your Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, and Your Royal Highness, the Princess of Wales, and Mr. Premier, Mr. Hilton Nicholas, Chairman of the VRC, and all of the committee of the VRC, what a fantastic day it is. And on behalf of your product, Foster's Lager, which started in Melbourne in 1888, we're so proud to be involved in this, which I believe is Australia's greatest day. We're so delighted to have the royal couple with us, and they're really wonderful people, and they are a great ambassador for Australia and Australians everywhere. To the VRC, we'd like to thank you very much. The amount of organisation that goes into a day like this is absolutely amazing. And to you, Hilton, and your committee, thank you very much. We're delighted to be associated with the first Foster's Melbourne Cup, the 125th running of the race, and it was a absolutely amazing run by the winner, and I'm delighted to know that Lloyd Williams and Dennis Gowing, who I both know, have won the first inaugural Foster's Melbourne Cup. We're delighted to be associated with it. We're delighted to put this race onto the world scene in terms of sponsorship, and I think it's a great thing from Australia. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have very much pleasure in asking His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, to make the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted, first of all, to say how delighted both my wife and myself are that we are able to be here with you on this very important national occasion, and to say that we're very sorry that it's taken so long for a member of my family to actually attend the Melbourne Cup. Now, today, as you all know, is a very important day because it's the first time that the Cup has been sponsored by Carlton and United Breweries. I've been trying to persuade the chairman that the Cup should be gently foaming with Foster's when it is presented, but it seems that most of the supplies are in Britain at the moment. I have here a large number of facts and figures which I'm bound to get wrong, but I would very much like to congratulate the owners of What a Nuisance on a really magnificent success, particularly when you consider that the horse was originally meant to be a jumper. Mr. and Mrs. Williams and Mr. Gowing all own shares in the horse, and I'm sure that at least £1 million will help to pay the horse box fees. I'd also congratulate the rider, Mr. Pat Hyland, who is, of course, one of Australia's most accomplished jockeys. I will excuse the fact that he beat the horse I put my money on by a very short head. I would also like to congratulate the trainer, Mr. Ma, who is also one of Australia's most successful young trainers, and this win today is his greatest triumph so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that in the tradition of that great stallion Archer that won the first Cup, this horse here, What a Nuisance, has shown as well all the hallmarks of a great champion. So many congratulations to all those who have taken part.
Would Mr. Williams please?
Your Royal Highnesses, Mr. Premier, Mr. Nicholas, Mr. Elliott, members of the VRC committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. What can you say on a day like this? It's a unique day. It's a unique day for Melbourne. It's a unique day for racing in the world. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I think the horse should be here. He's such a grand old horse. And I think that both Dennis Gowing and I are terribly fortunate to have such a wonderful old gelding. I'd like to congratulate the VRC on this promotion, along with John Adyett and his company Foster's. They are doing so much for racing, and John Adyett in particular is doing so much for sport in this country. I wish Foster's every success overseas, and this all goes well. I'm sure, seeing that this broadcast is going all over the world, that we'll be seeing Foster's all over the world. Words fail me for what I'd like to say about the connections of this horse. John Ma took this horse over. He was broken down after the Sydney Cup. He had a back injury, a suspensory, in April 1984. Here we are in 1985, and he's won the Melbourne Cup. To John and his staff, in particular to David Charles, I say thank you very much. To John Ma, you'll be hearing a lot of John. He's going to be probably one of the country's leading trainers, if not the leading trainer.
Royal Highnesses, Mr. Nicholas, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I won the first Foster's Caulfield Cup, now to win the first Foster's $1 Million Cup. I'm sure that God can't be really that much better to me, because this has been probably the most emotional day of my life. We've all put a lot of work into this horse, and I mean all. Johnny Marr, all his staff, and Lloyd himself, who's been a great friend of mine for probably 17, 18 years now. We've had our ups and downs, but I must say that Lloyd's a wonderful loser. I was only thinking the last 50 yards today how he was going to feel if we had have run second, because at that stage we looked like running second. But I'd like to thank my wife, who's been always by my side and given me a great kick up all the way through my life. And also to my children at home, your prayers were answered, kids. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies.
Now for the strapper, Craig Patmore.
And there's the presentation to Craig by His Royal Highness. And in a few moments, we'll have all those winning connections over here to talk with our commentary team.
Opel, Vain Princesses are away in the Sterling Stakes. Seek a Fortune began all right. Torval showing speed in the early stages. Jewel and the Crown well back with Brugalino. Haunting being ridden behind today. Bay of Sterling back with it with Merlinay. Gee, Vain Princess got to the front and then wanted to pull up as Sweet Dream Lady takes over. A length away, Lady Camilla. Pocono Pearl pulling, then Seek a Fortune the Grey. Torval getting a good run. Jewel and the Crown nice and handy. Brugalino, Bay of Sterling. Second last is Haunting and last is Merlinay. 8 lengths cover them at the 800. Sweet Dream Lady being joined by Seek a Fortune. A length away, Bay of Sterling's moved up sharply. On the fence next, Torval's had a good run from Vain Princess. Further back on the field, Pocono Pearl from Torval. Then Brugalino, third last Merlinay, second last Jewel and the Crown and Haunting. On the turn at the 500, Sweet Dream Lady, Seek a Fortune, Lady Camilla behind them, Vain Princess. Bay of Sterling 3 wide, Pocono Pearl 4 wide, Torval getting into the clear. Further back, Jewel and the Crown, Brugalino, Merlinay and Haunting. With 300 to go, Seek a Fortune burst away about 2 lengths, Sweet Dream Lady, Bay of Sterling. Then Pocono Pearl, Jewel and the Crown running on, but this leader's dash right away, Seek a Fortune. 4 in front of Bay of Sterling, Sweet Dream Lady, Torval and Jewel and the Crown. She's getting tired, Seek a Fortune, but she's got it won. A good go second, Jewel and the Crown, Torval. It'll be a bob. Maybe Torval bob best. Third, maybe Jewel and the Crown. Then Bay of Sterling. Brugalino, Haunting made up a bit of ground late. Pocono Pearl, Sweet Dream Lady, Merlinay, Vain Princess and Lady Camilla. Well, she dashed right away there, Seek a Fortune, at about the 400. Wayne Treloar's bounced back pretty well. He must have been a bit disappointed with Tristark, Graham Kelly, but...
and Ross McDonald too, Bruce, the trainer.
Yes.
Of Tristark, so yes, they've bounced back very quickly.
Not quite the same, the Sterling Stakes, but
in the Melbourne Cup, no.
But it's a nice race just the same. And Seek a Fortune, she'd had enough on the line, but the others...
She did plenty because he went a long way from home on about 400 metres, and as you said in the call, she didn't ever look like being beaten, Bruce. No, although she was tiring, she had the race in her keeping.
Jewel and the Crown came from a long way back. It is very tight for second here. Normally the outside get up, but I had the feeling Torval bob best. We can see What a Nuisance winning with Coro Corrie May just behind. Tripsicum third, Feedawar fourth. Gee, Butternut ran a big race, didn't she?
Yes.
Fifth. Then behind, that's Feedawar at the moment. Then Butternut. Gee, this is a great innovation.
Yes.
Our boyfriend. Yes. And behind our boyfriend, I'm a Prince, who I gave some chance at the 300.
Yeah.
And then Tristark, and then we had the next group. We'll see Tristark in a moment. And then there was a big gap, wasn't there?
Yes.
Black Knight, who never really got into it. There's
the stable mates.
George wanted a Quinella, or wanted a Dead Heat. Kiwi Dusky Legend. Down there on the fence, Twinette's Girl. Mapperley Heights didn't really fire. Silver Award.
Sir Zephyr.
Yes, Sir Zephyr.
Late Show. I'll leave the next one to you, Bruce.
Lack of Reason. You've got them well. Lack of Reason. Gary Willis said he had a lovely run. Then another big gap to Under Oath. Sprightly Native. Behind them, Rising Prince, who got very tired because he was there on the turn. Fox Seal never fired. He's better on top of the ground. And no more.
That was it last. Well, there's one for sweeps, Fox Seal.
So that was enormous there. 85, Torval 85, margins 2 3/4, a short half head. Trifecta 1:45.35, Quinella 14.65. And the Hardy brothers, 3:35 Knight of Avon down to 6. Paname 3:45, 2:85 Fair Paint, 3:05 Lord Vane, 2:65 Princess Jacinda, down to 14 Aberrath 6:65, Mahogany Rose 6:85, and some specking for Blackie Jack at 18.10. The double approximates, first leg to What a Nuisance. The popular ones, Knight of Avon 58.35, 63.30 for number 6 Paname, 69.90 for Fair Paint, Lord Vane at $65.70, 67.35 Princess Jacinda, and number 14 and 15 Aberrath 150.05, Mahogany Row 151.05. First leg went to number 13 What a Nuisance, and the biggest there 1,377 for number 17 Advisor. Let's still run well. Light on, away they go. Fair Paint jumped well on his own on the outside. Away pretty well inside of him also was Blackie Jack. Rich Brother got burnt off early, going back down towards the fence. Knight of Oscar, Royal Campbell showing speed with Aberrath. Knight of Avon's behind them. Princess Jacinda's going very fast. Paname just behind those horses. Showing speed, Mahogany Row got away with them today. They're all coming across with Fair Paint in the centre of the track. Getting well back through the field is Rich Brother. It's back last, as you'd expect, as they start to sort themselves out at about the 700. On the fence, Aberrath, Princess Jacinda the outside from Knight of Oscar, Paname, Mahogany Row, Royal Campbell. Knight of Avon parked on those horses. Out wider on the track then to Lord Vane. Under the whip behind those horses and struggling a bit, Chick Prince. Further out, Fletcher Boy. Then Puissance and Blackie Jack, Advisor, Rich Brother and Fair Paint down the outside on its own. Mahogany Row and Lord Vane, the South Aussies, drew level with Paname, and also behind them Aberrath, Princess Jacinda, Knight of Oscar and Fletcher Boy, and Fair Paint out wides up with them. Mahogany Row and Lord Vane are together. Letts is getting plenty out of Mahogany Row. Fair Paint down the outside from Fletcher Boy, but Mahogany Row's dashed away. Jay Letts rides a big double by 2.5 to Lord Vane. Probably Fair Paint third in front of Fletcher Boy, then Royal Campbell, Knight of Avon. Further back, Advisor, Rich Brother made up some ground. Knight of Oscar, Paname, Puissance, Princess Jacinda, Aberrath, one of the last home, Blackie Jack and Chick Prince. Official placings after the Hardy brothers, but it's been a big day for Jay Letts.
Well, it's Melbourne Cup Day. And
he loves it, doesn't he?
Johnny remembers it well.
2 times he's won the big one, but today he hasn't won the big one on Hay-Eye, but he's won 2 other races. 15 Mahogany Row. Jay Letts is first. Has been missing the start in South Australia, Ron, and therefore the form is a lot better than it's read. Missed the start badly when Lord Vane beat him last start, and today he jumped with him. I mentioned in the call that he got away with them at about the 800, and he was very strong in the last little bit, and Lord Vane has run second, so that Adelaide form has been very good today with Beaumont Babe.
It has. It's worked out really well.
85 and 190, Lord Vane 110, Fair Paint 105, Quinella 13.75, Trifecta 163.45, the Daily Double What a Nuisance Mahogany Row 150.105, the Quaddie today $3,904.15. The last is the Kerringbush Star Style Girl 155 down to 5 Mockapan 230, 6 All Flowers 645, Christmas Hamper 620, Quite at 590, Montalba at 415, and Beatrice Lavette at 765. Those dividends for 50 cents on the last, the Kerringbush. Let's go down and join Phil Gibbs in the mounting yard.
All right, thank you very much, Bruce. And I don't think we'll bother going to the presentation. We'll have a look at this picture.
Especially when they carry $1 million in prize money. Now, Russian Green's the last, and they'll be on their way for the Kerringbush, the final event. Mockapan's drawn the rails, Christmas Hamper in 2. Now, Star Style Girl, Darren Gauci out of the saddle momentarily. Back in. Now, they look to be right. Digger's Lass will probably show speed with Tutu Tutsi. Light on. Gates crash open. Away they go in the last. Montalba dropped out as expected. Away fast Newsmonger with Mockapan Quite. Tutu Tutsi going quickly. Ennis Vale Lady was away pretty well. Digger's Lass, Russian Green tapped out a bit wide. Deedle, Star Style Girl. All Flowers back about 5th last outside. Beatrice Lavette, Montalba, French Desire and Christmas Hamper Absolute. Tootsie led 3/4, Diggers Lass a length away, Quiet Russian Green 3 deep at the 1200. On the fence in front of it, Newsmonger with Star Style Girl. No speed on here as Diggers Lass now takes the lead. Deedle 7th outside Mokapan. Ennisvale Lady next, a length to Wallflower. Beatrice Levette, the rail Montalba. Second last on the fence is Christmas Harper, and about a length and a half French Desire being restrained last. 900 out, Diggers Lass ran away, a length and a half to Tootsie. A half to Quiet, a length to Russian Green 3 deep. Star Style Girls had a good run the centre. Newsmonger the rail, then Deedle the outside of Ennisvale Lady, a length Mokapan or Flower. Starting to improve is Christmas Hamper from Montalba. Beatrice Levette going for rails runs, and 2 lengths to French Desire. Diggers Lass has got out into the centre of the track on the turn, just led Tootsie and Quiet. Star Style Girls got the run, Newsmonger behind them. Beatrice Levette winding up, Russian Green, Mokapan into the clear. Then Ennisvale Lady, Deedle out wide, Montalba winding up. Good finish coming up. Star Style Girl took the lead from Tootsie. Quiet. Diggers Lass, Beatrice Levette, further back Montalba. Gauchi tries to get clear on Star Style Girl. Tootsie kicks back. Ennisvale Lady's flying, will beat them all. Comes home right over the top of Star Style Girl. Draws level and goes home to win. Star Style Girl second, third Deedle, then Christmas Hamper, Diggers Lass. Next home Mokapan, Tootsie and Montalba. Allflower, Beatrice Levette. One of the last French Desire, Quiet Newsmonger, and last home Russian Green. Well, just when I thought Gouch might have the money, when Star Style Girl got the better of Tootsie, Ennisvale Lady has come with a withering run, and Mark Riley has brought that mare home to win the final event on the program. 139.4. So a real blow to punters in the last, just when they were applauding themselves with Star Style Girl. Ennisvale Lady, a despised outsider, has got home from Star Style Girl. 139.4, the winner. Last start beaten at Geelong. Third in a mare's handicap. That was the day that Ten did that meeting.
Moonlight Saunter beat it down there easily. That's right. That's one to wait for in town, I suppose, Moonlight Saunter.
That's for sure. 13.28 official. And Deedle has finished third, so Len Smith had a good day. And fourth, Christmas Hamper. And Des, here's Ennisvale Lady about to wind up at the distance.
Certainly did wind up in the centre of the track, where I think maybe the best going has been all day, really. But it did look as though Star Style Girl, I noticed her falter back about a half a furlong further back just before she got to the lead, and then the horse on the fence fought back pretty well too. Tootsie out the centre, but then you come and see the yellow cap and the armbands of yellow armbands of Ennisvale Lady going really well, and another one of Smithy's out there in the blue and the pink cap. Diggers Lass light blue with the ordinary blue cap. So it was a bit of a race, but Ennisvale Lady prevailed, beating Star Style Girl, who hadn't raced for a while. Then we come up to Deedle, Christmas Hamper and Diggers Lass.
Yeah, Star Style Girl's last run was at this track when she ran second to Rash Dancer on September the 14th, so it's been quite some time.
Yeah, a bit of a while, but she
been missed any work, Des?
Well,
Card went to Ennisvale Lady at 14-1, second Star Style Girl, 3's favourite, third Deedle at 9-1. Now, from racing today at Flemington, the extra double 18 and 13, $766.75. The daily double 13 and 15, $151.05. And the quadrilla 4684, $3,904.15. And Mel, that was racing on Melbourne Cup Day 1985.
Thank you, Bill, and again, congratulations on your call. I'll be back with